And Fred Willard just turns and goes, most work-related accidents, and then he just stops talking. And like from that moment on, I've had like a half dozen ad libs where I've like been in the middle of a sentence and just pulled up stakes and fucking bailed on the person. But it's only because I saw that guy.
Now I'm going to steal it. Now I have to do it.
Like how perfect
That's
is it?
the greatest thing
But
in
do
the
you
world.
remember he goes, most work-related accidents, and he just starts knocking on the door again.
Kevin Nealon will do if you ever hung out with Kevin, he's the funniest guy.
Yeah, he sat in this chair and didn't talk for 2 hours. I go, what was it like meeting Farley? He goes, he was in an elevator with his parents. And I said, hey. And they said hi. And then,
Nealon,
2 hours.
Nealon will do shit like this. Nealon,
hold on. On the walk home, because he lives around the corner.
Yeah.
I remember one time Jan Hooks spit in Nora Dunn's eye. 3 houses from here. I go, that's a great story for a podcast. Nealon.
Does he live in Palisades now?
Everyone's here now, man.
Fucking really? He moved?
From where?
He was living down in Manhattan Beach.
He was down in Torrance. He was next to the racetrack in Torrance.
Down in Manhattan Beach. I've been in his house. Wait, now forget all that. Hold on. He cracks me up because the guy fucking we'll go to dinner or something, and he'll get in his car as he's waiting for his valet. He'll start telling a story. And be like, and so anyway, and then we're all listening to the story, and then he gets into his car, he's still telling the story, and as he's driving away, he's still telling the story. So you just see him going. And then what happened was at the end of the day,
by himself?
Yeah, by himself, just talking and stuff as he drives away to finish the story.
Guy.
He's fucking hilarious.
He remembers nothing of SNL. And my wife said to me, she said, you're the only person that remembers shit that they've done. And I go, what do you mean? She goes, like Kevin Nealon, like he kind of broke his balls. I didn't really break his balls, but after he left, we were confounded that he couldn't name 5 of his favorite sketches, considering he was there for 9 years.
That is pretty confounding.
But then I realized the only reason I remember everything
because you weren't there for 9 years.
Because I've only done everything 2 years at a time. Ghost Whisperer, 2 years. Gary O'Malley, 2 years. SNL, 2 years. I've never had that hit where like 9 years in, you go, I don't know. I fucking walked in, I took cereal, and I walked out.
I just want one, a 9-year hit.
I love that. Me too. But I think it's going to be together.
What are we going to do?
The Amanda Knox story.
Thank you. Finally. And I just faint.
How many kids do you have?
2.
What's the... so this is going to be sponsored by Yams?
I got to go pick my kid up. What time is it right now? I can't.
It's time to pick your kid up.
I got to get out of here. I'm a busy guy.
Yams should sponsor our podcast?
Yeah. This podcast brought to you by Yams, the slow carb, the slow release carb.
Most other podcasts have like fuck sponsors, like things you put your penis
like
in.
Fleshlight.
Or like websites like cheatonyourwife.com. Like I can't, what am I supposed to do?
Mary Jane, there's that.
I guess.
For swingers or whatever it is.
That's the read. Like, you need to be out there on TV and then, hey, let Bryan Callen, but you swung from his nuts a little hard there, man. When he stopped sucking his dick, let the guy talk. Hey, Eric Roberts here, like, all on Twitter, they're like, yeah, that was nice when you got done blowing him for 2 hours. Like, how the fuck would you treat him if he was in your house?
I don't read my Twitters because then they get too personal.
What are you supposed to do? Like, tell the guy he's okay?
Eric Roberts was at your house.
And I'm asking, like, we're asking him about, like, Fosse and Mickey Rourke and people are like, yeah, you swung from his nuts. That was a ball washing festival. I'm like, and I say like on jmohr.com when they email me, I go, well, what would you have done differently? And they won't. And then I keep emailing them. And then eventually they email me, look, you got to leave me alone. Like, you started it.
You fucking started. I'll finish it.
Like, well, and the one guy actually answered back, goes, I would have blown him at the beginning, at the end, and just let everything in the middle be alone. And I was like, fair enough.
Fair enough. That's a good answer.
But the guy was in fucking North Dallas. The guy was in Star 80.
He was in Star 80.
I got my numbers confused.
He was great in Star 80. With Muriel Hemingway is a friend of mine.
She is?
Yeah.
Go on.
I know her.
Run. Take it.
Dates my friend. They live together up in Calabasas.
Who's your friend?
Bob Williams, strongest man in the world.
That's not true.
Strongest man in the world. 6'3", 205 pounds. You don't know anybody stronger. Can curl 135 39 times. Hulk
Hogan.
He's stronger than anybody. You know.
Jeremy Roenick.
Stronger than anybody. But I mean, for his size,
Kevin Smith.
He's got the craziest.
Kevin Smith.
No. Kevin Smith is a chimp.
Watch it.
We call him the chimp. He's ridiculous. He'll grab you. He'll make a grown man scream. He'll grab your ankles and you'll scream.
Bret the Hitman Hart.
I don't know him.
What about Colin Quinn?
Shut up, you don't know nothing.
He's not stronger than me, is he? You know, I'm the strongest man married to Mariel Hemingway. You want to impress me? You know, when he Dumper get married to Margot. That's a much tough hustle, you know, much tougher hustle. I can't even talk anymore. You know why? Because I didn't have water for 12 hours, like Bryan Callen said. What are you going to do?
It's the greatest fucking impression. You want to hear a story about Bob Williams, though? He was on a surfboard in Malibu with his buddy, and these locals came up to him.
Locals only.
Yeah, and they go, get the fuck off our wave. And you know what Bob said? He looks at him and he goes like this. He goes, yeah, let me ask you a question, then I'll get off your wave. And the guy goes, yeah. And he goes, how long can you hold your breath? The guy goes, what? He goes, how long can you hold your fucking breath? I can hold my breath for 5 minutes, which means I can jump off this board. I'll grab you by your hair. I take you down the round. We take a little nap. Just a little nap. You fucking die. I come back up for you, and I hold you under for 5 minutes. His hands are fucking two of mine. He looks like a really hard, muscular JFK Jr. with a fucking crazy eye. Good luck with that guy. And
but how did he hook up with Mariel Hemingway? Like, what was she doing? Where they?
He's all man. She's a big girl.
But are they at Crunch? And he's like, "Do you mind if I work in?" She goes,
"Ooh." I don't know how they met. He met through friends. But he's like
Jack LaLanne's I want you to meet a friend of mine.
He rock climbs with no fucking ropes. He eats raw meat. He's
Only
a fucking maniac.
Fags climb with no ropes.
Hey, easy with the F word, for God's sake.
Aren't you bothered comedically that like all gay words have to leave our lexicon?
Well, no. The problem with the word fag and those words is that there's a violent history behind them. That's why when you're gay, like for example,
where'd you grow up?
All over the world. I was born overseas and I lived overseas. Yeah.
In New Jersey.
Yeah, I know. I remember.
There's nothing violent about. Come on, don't be a fag.
But there was always, when you were gay, it was always an acceptable prejudice, right? So you're 14, you're attracted to men. And when you went to that, don't be that, you know, even parents make fun of it all, right? So it wasn't like being black or Jewish or whatever it might be where it's kept sort of like, you know, in polite company at least, there's like, you don't mention that stuff. But when you were gay, you were persecuted. You were always crucified when you were a kid.
I'm not. Look,
and so what happens is I think
I'm completely pro-gay.
Yeah, but what I think the word fag or faggot, those are aggressive words that for a lot of gay people have violent memories attached. You know what? So
faggot, it's not up to them. It's not up to it. You taught me something today. I like this.
Let me say one more thing.
It's not up to me to have them explain that where I'm coming from is a place of complete and utter nonviolence and pro-gay.
Exactly.
It's up to me to not use the word because I have to understand. It's St. Francis, basically. I have to understand rather than try to be understood.
Exactly. Understand the history behind that word and understand that the people that use that word were not gay people themselves. It was people trying to put them down. That's very acceptable.
Chink. What if you're a chink fag?
Now you'd have some problem. Now you got some issues with those words. I would imagine you'd meet some resistance.
You got boys or girls?
I got a girl and a boy.
The boy. How old's the boy?
6 months old.
Oh. Because my son, I think every boy between like 2 and 12 is a quarter gay. Maybe. And I say this on stage. I go, if you don't believe me, have a sleepover. 5 7-year-olds in a tent in your living room is the gayest shit that will ever go down in your house. They zip the window closed on the tent. And you hear them at night like, you come down to check on them. They're wearing each other's pajamas. My son's got a SpongeBob bottom and a Lightning McQueen top. Neither of which I put him to bed in. I put to bed Wayne Corbett. I put a little New York Jet to sleep. And then there's the one kid with no shirt on outside the tent hustling. Oh, you came down for a snack, Mr. Moore? And I always say, like, if my son was gay, I'd be thrilled. And when I say that on stage, people, like, I have to then wade through their uncomfortableness. Yeah. Like, they're like, because they wouldn't be okay with it. But like you and
that's
and me,
fine too. It's like
But wouldn't you, if your son was gay and said to you at 8, like, I think I like boys, wouldn't you be thrilled that he came to that conclusion that early and that you could move on from that?
I don't know how thrilled, but what I would do is I would make sure that he felt as though I would empower him. I'd make sure that he felt like that it was okay and that that's the truth, and then he had to live his truth.
It is.
Yeah. That's right. That's
there is no okay.
I don't believe in I don't believe in suppressing somebody because they feel that I would celebrate it.
I would celebrate.
You have
and
to.
I'd be so
I don't want my
happy.
kid growing up with neurosis.
No.
I don't want him feeling like
I would
he's already
try-
going to deal with life is going to kick him in the nuts to begin with.
I would try to help him to be as gay as humanly possible.
There you go.
Like Hermes backpack, Louis Vuitton sneakers,
Clogs.
Anita Baker. No gay guy be caught dead in clogs.
Sorry. You're right. What am I saying?
Clogs.
You're so fashion savvy. All right,
my
I gotta
Bad
get
Brains
out.
t-shirt.
I gotta run.
I put him in the UFC. First openly gay.
I wish. I'd love
40
to see that.
and 0, all forfeits.
I'd love to see that.
Weighing in with half a boner. 175. See you in the octagon. I like your bangs. I just try to work bangs in every
See how funny you are, my friend?
Where are you going to be performing? Where can we see you?
I'll be at in Vancouver January 26th, 27th, and 28th at the Comedy Works.
No. It's not what it's called.
It's not.
It's Comedy Mix.
I mean, Comedy Mix. At the Comedy Mix. At the Comedy Mix. At the Comedy Mix.
It's a good club. And people of Vancouver, we love you up there. They got some good hits.
I love Canadians. Love them.
Oy.
Did you just make a weed? No,
chapstick.
Oh, okay.
Excellent
I thought you were saying
chapstick
they
in
make great
Vancouver. They have really good SPF chapstick, SPF 15. I once got so stoned in Vancouver, I said, I'm going to write a book in my hotel room at the Sutton Place Hotel. And I wrote for about 3 hours. Like, I'm doing a movie. I'm going to write like Gonzo, like Hunter S. Thompson. Like, I'm here now. This is it. Write it.
I got so
3 hours. The next morning, I'm in my trailer. I open up my laptop. It's one paragraph. The whole thing is red, underlined, misspelled. I couldn't spell Canada. It was Canada, Canadian.
Dude, I got so high in Jamaica I couldn't feel my sides. Try that sometime.
It's so bizarre.
I was like, I can't feel my sides right now. My girlfriend was like, what are you talking about? I can't feel my fucking sides.
Your sides.
This is a serious issue. And I started doing this and I started walking in a circle. She goes, well, you need to calm down. I go, I'm not going to calm down. I can't feel my fucking sides.
And how long did that last?
About 3 hours. We went to Benihana's. We went to Benihana's. I was still high, and I kept hearing like every other word because you sit communally, and if I'd hear like somebody say Chinese, I go, I love Chinese food. I shout out. It was a disaster. I was trying to act normal.
That's what me and you need to go to Benihana and get that. We need to go in like cashmere sweaters.
Oh God!
And get that smell.
Oh yeah.
Long hair
yes.
with the headband.
With the shoulder purses.
Wear berets. Have a woven purse.
Yes.
Cashmere sweaters, Hermes scarves.
Yes.
Just get the smell all over us.
There you go.
And we'll just walk around and people will be like, were you guys
talk about Fendi? I have to run.
Brian, thanks. You'll come back, right?
I'll come back anytime you want.
Everyone listening, go see Bryan Callen on Twitter. Is it at Bryan Callen?
Yes, sir.
Bryan.
BryanCallen.
I got it wrong.
Jay Mohr, you are a scholar, a gentleman, and one of the funniest people on the planet. There, I said it. You heard it, America. You heard it first. And go see him at Harrah's in Las Vegas, March 30th.
No, March 30th is River Rock Casino in
That's
Vancouver.
what I meant. Yeah,
Thank you,
River
Brian.
Rock.
Go get your babies.
I love you.
I love you.
Bye.